Hello everyone, today is Friday, October 11th. It's 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am making a weekend update. So I'm going to show our spreadsheet with our results for the past couple of months, and I want to show some charts and performance this week, and maybe try to throw in a little trading lesson there. So first, let's just start out with a little trading information that might be useful to you. So here I have just regular 5-minute chart, and to keep things simple, I'm going to take these oscillators off. This is the precision percent R Stoke and our precision oscillator. There is an art to reading oscillators. That's another lesson entirely, so I'm just going to remove these from the chart. I want to keep it real simple. Maybe I'll leave this one up here and show you how you might use it. But this is a 5-minute chart. I chose a 5-minute chart for a reason. There's 90 5-minute bars in the regular session from 9:30 to 4 p.m. 90 5-minute bars. On the chart, the Precision MA has 4 different moving averages. The Precision MA, which looks like this, at a setting of 18, and then the adaptive moving average looks like this, okay? And this is kind of cool because it basically flatlines when you get chop like this, but it does a pretty good job above and below. Where I'm going with this is I want to show you how to gain a simple bias on the market throughout the day just using a couple of moving averages, long above, short below, because this moving average does a pretty good job. And I'm using a 5-minute chart as a reference because a period of 18 is 1/3 of the bars of the session, basically. So the other MAs in the Precision MA are the EMA and a simple moving average, and then the volume weighted moving average. And what's nice about the BWT Precision MA is that the moving average is blue when it's going up, red when the average is going down or less than it was one bar ago, and there's a dot where it changes. So here would be the volume weighted moving average. And if I make this real wide, you can kind of see here that it gives a pretty good indication on a long or a short bias. Now, how you might use the indicator with that is that the Precision MA is pretty good above 0 or below 0. The red bars are your aggressive signal here. So a red bar here is an aggressive signal. These triangles here are the BWT volume reversal bar. And here I have it set at 18 bars, meaning it's got to be the highest high of 18 bars or the lowest low of 18 bars. And what this does is, for a long reversal, this means that the down volume was greater than the up volume in this bar, but the bar closed in the top half of the bar. And what that tells us is that this was an exhaustion on this bar. In other words, there was more selling volume that drove the bar down, but the lesser buying volume actually caused the bar to close up, meaning that there was no resistance on the upside once all the selling got done. And the same is true on all these other bars. And it's a pretty neat little indicator. It works pretty good on minute-based charts. It can work on tick charts as well, but you can see some pretty nice signals here to show you an exhaustion. And it plots in real time at the close of the bar. But back to the main premise here of finding a bias in the market. To trade the auto trader long only or short only, because I'm showing this because Jim is so successful with his method of using the auto trader, and you know, it may appear as a mystery to some of you, but it's actually very easy, and this is just one of a number of methods to do this. Now, so pick your favorite moving average, a period of 18. Let's go back to the exponential. So it's a little bit smoother here, but certainly you can use any of them. You can decide what's used the best. The other two averages here are a 5 and a 10. So the reason I wanted to show the 5 and the 10 is because if you get good at reading the moving averages, you can begin to see where the market is transitioning. And that's when these averages get close to each other. They all kind of begin to tighten up here like this. The market is transitioning. Of course, when you get a long period, sideways like this, and the market's undeciding, it is transitioning. It's just transitioning over hours here. But of course, right here at the open, today was undeniably bullish to the upside. But there were some short opportunities right here. Anyway, this is one way. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the volume profile, but I just wanted to show this as a quick way to gain a bias here. Let's just plot the precision trend on here and give a little bit more bias to this. Look how good the precision trend indicator called this action here. It's just about as good as it could be. And I just plotted it with the default settings. I made no adjustments. This is not cherry-picked or anything like that. So, okay, so this is the NASDAQ Super Renko 14 with a Super Renko 14-tick higher time frame. And I basically took this idea from the spreadsheet. So here's another trading idea for you. The Super Renko 6-tick with the 6-tick higher time frame is the top performing E-mini S&P strategy. Okay, the next best performing chart in the E-mini S&P is the Super Renko 4-tick with the Super Renko 8-tick higher time frame, and that is trading 2 contracts. So this would be actually 445. So the next best performing is not this one, but it's actually this one, the Super Renko 4 with the Super Renko 4. Actually very similar to our best performing Super Renko 6. Same idea, except on a 4-tick, and this happens to be the second best performing chart. This is your average weekly return. So let's look at this per contract. Okay, so here's the entire session bunched up here, and here's the template here. It's this template, and the goal on this is a single contract with a goal of 450 and a loss limit of 325. So using my 75-25 rule, I have the profit goal and the loss limit set, and that seems to be working out pretty good. I think you could actually go lower in the loss limit. So this is using our open range filter, and that's the only other filter, and then the higher time frame filter. And this one has a sensitivity of 2 instead of 1.4, and the base setup is 1. So this had a couple of losers. Well, one loser right here, maybe more. So this was able to absorb this losing trade, drew down 150, and then recovered with these very nice winning trades within the rules here. Remember, what I'm showing you here, all the charts I'm showing today are 100% automated, no human interaction. And so this came back to 150, and then there was another losing trade there, and then it recovered with 2 winners in a row and came up and hit its goal of 450 and had no slippage. So this is the second best performing chart. Now I want to bring the spreadsheet back over here, and I just want to note that the E-mini S&P had a spectacular week this week. These are all the losing charts on Monday, but the remainder of the week, each day there was only one losing chart with the exception of Thursday. These are all the systems I tracked. The E-mini S&P on a regular Renko 2-tick has been deleted. That was the worst performer, and so that was dropped from the mix. I'm trying to reduce these down, and probably the second worst performer would be the Super Renko 6-tick. So I think I'm going to eliminate the 2 bottom performers. So the regular Renko 6-tick with the higher time frame of 6. I'm not sure if anyone is even interested in trading regular Renko, and why would you be? We have so many better choices here. Okay, so let's look at the next best performing chart in the E-mini S&P, and that would be the Super Renko 4 with the open range and the step MA. Okay, that would be this chart here. And so this chart is using both the step MA and the open range filter, and so we missed this trade here probably because of the reversal look back. And the reversal look back is 5 bars, and basically what that's doing is that's looking back to where the step MA was greater than it was 1 bar ago. I should perhaps trade this to above or below, because it might have been able to get this, but it was more than 5 bars looking back to the red bar where we got red bar to blue bar, and that's probably why it didn't trade right here. So instead, we did get a trade here, and that turned out to be a loser, and so that drew down 250. And then we had a winning trade right here. So notice this is pretty selective about taking trades. And then we had another loser, it looks like. No, we did not. And then we, that was it for the day. This only did 137.50 for the day, but this is the second best performing chart. Okay, so looking at the template for the E-mini S&P, a lot of good choices here to trade the E-mini S&P, and I believe you could further increase your odds by using Jim's method, which is taking a long-only or short-only bias and then engaging the auto trader based on that. I think you could improve your results quite a bit, but remember, this is 100% automated without doing any of that. And I believe this shows that it is quite possible to trade the auto trader 100% automated. But still, in spite of that, it's to your benefit to understand the auto trader as much as possible and keep furthering your education. Let's move down to the NQ and look at the best performing chart here, which is the NASDAQ on a 500 tick chart, actually, but I haven't been plotting this that long. But I'm going by the weekly average here. So actually it would be the 1597 Heikin Ashi tick. Let's take a look. Okay, this was a loser today, but had you been using the methodology like Jim's, let's just plot the precision MA on here and see how that would have looked had we applied a little discretion. You would have let the auto trader trade long right above this open here. Now I suspect what happened here is we did not get filled on our limit order because I have an 8-tick pullback on this chart. Maybe that's too much because this would have been a winning day. So I'm going to reduce this down to 3 ticks. We want to see more fills on this chart. Actually, maybe I shouldn't fix it. It's not broke. It might be the thing that's holding this together, but it's definitely worth testing. Maybe reduce it by half. I don't think we'd get hurt there. These trades would pretty much all be the same, but you would get more fills, that's for sure. But certainly, that's why there was no trade here. And it's a shame because it's just such a beautiful setup. I might note that Jim uses limit orders, but he does not use a pullback. He usually uses a limit order at the close of the bar, and that seems to work. That's your highest chances of getting filled. Okay, so here's our NASDAQ on a 500 tick chart. And this is the template here, and this has a goal of 750. So this did 775 today and had very nice positive slippage. Let's take a look. So this took full advantage of this strong move to the upside. This is just a standard 500 tick chart, and there was 2 trades here, and it hit its goal of 775. This is trading a single contract. A limit order with a 4-tick pullback. So really nice performance on this chart. And I haven't been plotting this very long. I just wanted to show a straight 500-tick chart, and does a nice job. Okay, this is the crude oil on a Superenco 6 with that same idea as our E-mini S&P, a Superenco 6 with a lower sensitivity and then a higher time frame of Superenco 6 with a higher sensitivity. Same as our best performing E-mini S&P chart, I applied this to the crude oil. And so this is new. This is today. It had a nice winning day. It did 520. Our goal on this is 520, so it hit our goal and no slippage. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a Superenco 4-tick with a Superenco 8 higher time frame, and this is one of our best performing charts as well. This is one of the few charts that I am showing trading 2 contracts, and you can see that here. First target is only 20 ticks, and I have a goal of 750 and a loss limit of 575. And here are the trades. First loser drew down about 275 and then recovered with these 2 winners in a row and finished at 750 for the day. Okay, just want to come back to our spreadsheet here. So the top performing chart on the NASDAQ, the 1597 Heikin-Ashi, and what looks like to be coming up is this 500 tick chart, and then also the 987 on the NASDAQ looking pretty good. And also the Superenco 14, which I haven't been plotting that long, and I showed that earlier. Okay, for the crude oil, it is definitely the 150 tick line break and the crude oil Superenco 8 tick are the best performers. And then on the DAX, it is clearly the Heikin-Ashi 150. And here is that chart here. And it looks like it didn't trade till late in the morning. This is on the U.S. session here. It has a goal of 550 and a loss limit of 400, trading a single contract. And this also has an 8-tick pullback, so pretty steep on the pullback here. This did 375 for the day on these couple of trades. So this is the best performing DAX chart. Probably we could make our pullback a little bit less. It would be interesting to test that. All right, so in the interest of keeping the video down, here's the weekly recap for the different markets. This is the crude oil. This is what it did for the week. And then the E-mini S&P. And then the NASDAQ. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's video and our recap.